Okay, so I want to talk about how some of our psychic abilities are right in front of our faces. Sometimes we'll get these skeptics trying to say there's no evidence for psychic abilities when I believe a lot of the time they're right in our face, or sometimes we just don't know that those are our psychic abilities. For example, I feel like us knowing when someone is staring at us from behind is a form of psychic ability. That's a psychic experience. Now, some skeptics will try to rationalize that away and say something like, oh, it's just our peripheral vision. Well, if our peripheral vision was that good, um, well, you know that game where sometimes someone will come up behind a person and cover that person's eyes and will ask, guess who? That game wouldn't be very effective if our peripheral vision was that good. So, yes, we have peripheral vision, but that's peripheral vision. Sometimes these people are directly behind us. And I feel like some of us have had enough experiences where these people are directly behind us and we turn around and our vision goes exactly to the source of what we sense, and sometimes our eyes even lock with this person's, right? And we kind of either catch them being kind of suspicious or shady or creepy, or sometimes just curious. But there's that specific chain of events where we directly go to that person who was directly behind us, who we wouldn't be able to see even with peripheral vision. So we kind of sense some type of energy or connection there, and it was not with our typical five senses. So then there's other things where, like, when we talk about where we believe that our phones might be listening to our conversations because we'll be having conversations and the very next moment we'll get an ad for what we were talking about. While I don't believe that's totally impossible, I think in a lot of circumstances, that is just our psychic ability. It's sort of a psychic foresight, right? What we're doing is we're having these kind of light um, premonitions or precognitive experiences where we were going to encounter those ads. So we kind of just like subconsciously came into the conversation. Okay, because of this psychic foresight. It's like if you were walking down a trail and then you suddenly start having the conversation about a dog with your friend, and next thing you know, you um, see a dog on the trail. Okay, so someone wasn't listening to our conversations and then like put a dog on the trail. You had that was your psychic foresight, and maybe you weren't exactly clear that that's what it was, so you kind of just started subconsciously talking about this thing you were about to anticipate. It's very similar to when you get a text or call from someone, you were like, I was just thinking about you. Yeah, that could just be a coincidence sometimes, but sometimes that's just your psychic ability. It's your psychic foresight, um, sort of uh, sensing this future event, and then that future event happens. Okay, it's kind of like our passive psychic navigation, our little passive psychic echolocation of our sonar that's constantly in tune with kind of like these psychic waves and currents, which enables us to perceive potential future events.